happening, everybody? It's me, Payne, again. So, either yesterday, today, or the day before yesterday, I uploaded a video about the new patch. It's the December 21st patch, 2015, and the new cards that came out. And one of the things that came up for me doing like reviewing the patch and see what are the changes and everything is the just the raid raptors, because like what came up for me is that this is not okay. So as of right now, this is before the patch is live now. At this point in time, I didn't edit my deck or anything, but as of right now, this is my raid raptor deck. So I have one wild vulture, two tribute lioness, three sharp lionesses, harpy, zephyros, two vanishing lionesses. Hmm. They're all Lannises. That I'm pretty sure there used to be Mimicry, but whatever. Mimic. This is the Mimicry one. Mimicry Lannises. I got three of those. Necro Vulture. I have one. Fuzzy Lannis. I have two. I run one Singing Lannis. And I have two two Skull Eagles and one Lastrix. Then I run Regeki and Dark Hole. One mystical space typhoon. Rank up Magic Raid Force, two Raid Raptor calls, rank up Magic Raid Raptors Force, and rank up Magic Raid Revolution Force. Also run a Burial from Different Dimension, Swallow's Nest, two's Raid Raptors Nest, one Ultimate Mace. I have one Raid Raptor Readiness, Bottomless, Raid Raptor Return, one Rare Force. I wish I could have ran three, but whatever. Icarus Attack, Localized Tornado, Dimensional Prison, an Evac Device, Home Phoenix Chain, and the Raid Raptors Gust. Okay, so as of right now, before the patch, right? Raid Raptors are already good. They're fantastic. When the original Raid Raptors came out, this is before I stopped playing. When I moved back home, that was when the original Raid Raptors came out. I think it was somewhere around end of March, start of April into May. That's when the first couple Raid Raptors cards came out. And you know how they do it on Death Pro, like they release some the information for the cards that they do have, they release it, and sometimes it's not the full archetype and what they have. So at that point, Raid Raptors were good. They were actually really good, right? So what I like to do with my partner, shout out to my man Nico Venomous or whatever he's calling himself now. Shout out to my partner. What he liked to do, what we did is we play a lot of tag duels. If you've seen on my last channel that I had, when I uploaded Yu-Gi-Oh videos, when it wasn't like deck strats or whatever, we did a lot of tag duels, and that's how we figured out what worked and what didn't work, how it works with this and that. And one of the things that we discovered for ourselves is Raid Raptors and Blackways mesh together really well. Like it's almost ridiculous how well they mesh, right? But at that point, Raid Raptors didn't have the support that they have now. So yes, they had their rank up magic and their Swallows Nest and Raid Raptor Readiness. I'm not sure if they had a Raid Raptor Reborn, but they definitely did not have a Raid Raptor Gust. And so what we had then was all we had was Lioness, Tribute, Sharp, Vanishing, Mimicry, and yeah, those were the base five. No, those were base four that we had. Base four that we had, and of course we played Harpies because that's core for us because you get free cards, free yeah, free cards, and Zephyros Elite is a free level four. But like right now, with this new patch with the brand new Raid Raptor card, what is it called? A freaking Raid Raptor Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon. This deck is actually it's it's not okay. But so I'm gonna create for you. What I'm gonna do for you is I'm gonna create how not okay it is, right? So I'm gonna compare the Raid Raptors to similar decks. So as of right now, it looks like Raid with the support that they're getting and all the changes that are being made, Raid Raptors is probably gonna be in this meta for a long time. Like, yes, in total, right? The whole big change. It's about pendulums and special summoning and getting on the field as fast as possible and like not winning as fast as possible, but giving yourself enough momentum so that your opponent can't stop you. And yes, they're gonna have trap cards and whatnot to deal with what you have. But what your opponent's gonna be trying to do is to like lock you down so you don't get to your peak where you can just steamroll them, right? So and previously within that meta we had it was always about special summoning and whatnot, and we had the rituals, which is why Digin, whatever it's called, got banned after it's been in the game for maybe 10 years, maybe a little less than that, I'm not sure. But in total, yeah, that's what's been happening. They brought rituals back in there. What they're doing is they're bringing back older decks, like the black, like not the Blackwing. Yeah, actually, yes, the Blackwing. That was an older deck that isn't as old, but it's still viable. So they're bringing back Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, Dark Magician. They have more support for those cards, right? So it looks like Raid Raptor is gonna be like it's gonna continue to build, and it's gonna have different cards. As of right now, you have 26 cards in total, like 26 Raid Raptor related cards that you can build a deck with, right? And what I want to compare the two is their own. They're like an X. They're their own thing, like they're birds and whatnot. But from what I'm seeing, they're the XYZ version of Blackwings, and we all know that no matter what changes in the meta, whether it be pendulums or synchros or fusion or whatever, that Blackwings are always going to be viable because they're able to. All they need is one card on the field, and they're able to spam the field almost instantaneously. They have like let me type it up. Blackwings have all Blackwing Blackwings. They have a total of 58 cards in the whole set. There's a total of 58 Blackwing related cards, right? Right now, Raid Raptors have 29 right now, right? So we're talking about from the time that they release, they've been a force to be reckoned with because you have your synchros and especially the new ones that are actually very powerful if I can find them. Like Nutong Straight Light and Blackwing Tamer City Hawk, and even Rakari, Assault Blackwing Rakari. They're actually very good, and even Blackwing Armor Master, which was part of the original Blackwing cards, it's a very strong card. So similar to how Blackwings work, you get one card on the field, and then you just spam the living hell out of everything. Like especially with your main card, your main combo will be banishing Lioness into Mimicry Lioness. Basically, you summon those two, bring out four streaks, and you bring out four streaks. You get a free card to your hand, and with Lioness, you send that to the graveyard. You banish it. You get to add any Raid Raptor card in your deck to your hand. Right, so that's a core. This this is where I run into the problem. Yes, Blackwings that do the same thing, like they spam the field and they're able to like take over. Like if you don't shut them down early with like Vanity's Emptiness or whatever, they're forced to be reckoned with. I remember me and my partner again, we actually sat down and we beat someone. I forgot what he was using, but I was using Blackwings, and we sat down and beat him only with Blackwing tuners. I don't know how we managed to do it, but that's what we did, because they're really powerful. And then you have like Vayu and stuff where you could synchro summon from the graveyard. yeah, the effect's negated, but it's still like a level 8 monster with 3,000 attack on the field. Like they're really strong, and even like Black Wings themselves, like their own trap cards, really they set themselves up to be even more powerful. So you have Blackback. Blackbacks lets you special summon uh a 2,000 or less Blackwing monster. You just can't normal sub. You can't normal summon or set for the rest of the turn. All you need is one monster that you can spam like you basically spam Vayu, Gale the Whirlwind. Uh, there's a there's a bunch of other ones. I can't think of them now. Then you have Faith Feather. You can you select any normal. You base it's a basically another. That's a second Mirror Force that you have, right? So you got that. And then you have cards like Black Sonic and Delta Crow Antiverse. Black Sonic banishes all attack position monsters if they attack you. Then Delta Crow, you get to destroy all back row, all of your opponent's back row. Like that's really good. Like Blackwings themselves, they spam the field and they have a lot of control behind it. With Raidraptors, what runs into the problem, Raidraptors only has two cards that provide them survivability, right? You have Raidraptor's Readiness, which stops them from being destroyed for one turn, and then you can banish from your graveyard. You take no damage for the rest of the turn. Which in a clutch situation, as long as you have a it's Raid Raptors. You're gonna have a Raid Raptor monster in the graveyard, but in a clutch situation, that can save it. That can save it behind. And then as long as you have Raid Raptor Gus, as long as you have a Raid Raptor on the field, uh, while you control, it doesn't even have to be a monster. While you control a Raid Raptor card, so if you have, I'm pretty sure if you have Raid Raptor's Nest active on the field, you can still activate Raid Raptor's Gust and negate stuff. So those are the two cards to have control. And one thing that Raid Raptors does very well, by themselves, they don't need spell cards to do this. Yes, you can have Nest ready, set and ready to go, but the monsters themselves can really push forward. They can enhance what they draw. Okay, so we're talking about cards that you add to hand and cards that you draw. Raid Raptors themselves, unlike Blackwing, they have no actual draw cards. Like when I mean draw cards, I'm talking about what am I talking about? I'm talking about things like cards for Black Feathers, where you banish a Blackwing card, then you draw two cards. Raid Raptors don't have that, but instead they have cards like Mimicry and Force Strix, which Force Strix you get to just detach one XYZ card, and you get to add any level four Dark Wing Beam sponsor to your hand. Like, okay, that together with Blackwings, you can see why Blackwings and Raid Raptors mesh together, because cards like Force Strix, and considering that all Blackwing cards are Wing Beast cards, like they doesn't matter which Blackwing or Raid Raptor cards you put together, you'll get what you need. You'll get whatever monster that you need or want. All right, so you have that, so that supports them both. But Force Strix, when you have Force Strix face up on a field, Mimicry in the graveyard available for you to banish, and Nest. That's three different sets of cards that you can get, right? And even so, you have that, right? So remember, and then what you can do with Nest is cards that you send to the graveyard, you can add back to your hand. Like that's not, and the only condition for you to have that is to have two Raid Raptor cards face up on the field, which is not hard. It's actually not hard. Literally, you play Vanishing and special summon any card you want, or you play Sharp Landis attack. If it survives, special summon as long as you have a Raid Raptor in your graveyard. Special summon any card you want. Then you can keep add it. You add card with Nest. You add cards from your graveyard and your deck. Like, okay, no, stop. That's not okay. Okay, right? So that's compared to I'll keep going, right? So then you have Landis to let you add any Raid Raptor cards, so trap cards, spell cards, or whatever, or monsters. Free any card you want and or need. gets added to your hand as soon as you send Landis to the graveyard that turn. Any card you need. He said you're not sure if you can protect your monster. Get a Raidraptor's Readiness. You think your monster's gonna get destroyed and you're gonna be able to activate the rank up card? Get the rank up card. If you think you won't be able to get the rank up card, but you definitely want to keep your monster alive, get Raidraptor Return. Or if you think like they have trap cards that you really need to shut down, get Raidraptor's Gust. Like anything you want for Mimicry is the embodiment of anything that you want for yourself. You can have it. And when in a game like Yu-Gi-Oh, where you have to have balance in it, the only cost that you have is that you banish it, right? And with Burial from Different Dimension, return all three of those Mimicries back to your graveyard, and you literally get to use that effect 6 times. 6 different times you get to add whatever Raidraptor card you want to your hand. Right? Because that's okay. Oh. Right? So, yes, okay, right? So Raidraptors, they're good at spamming. That's what they do, right? But one of the things that I have a problem, like there's in Yu-Gi-Oh, there are always going to be decks that no matter how the game changes, how the meta changes, and how it develops and evolves, there's always going to be certain decks that are going to show prowess. Like doesn't matter how the game changes, there's still going to be a top a viable top deck. For example, Black Wings, just like I just said. Another example would be Dark World, right? So you might not think about it, but Dark World is there. No matter how much the meta changes, like maybe you don't think they're fast enough, or maybe it's too hand dependent. They they can control the if Dark Worlds get started early or whenever. They can get they can get really they can get started really fast. Like it's not a joke. Dark Worlds provide one thing that Dark Worlds provide is a lot of control, which is what I like in my decks, which is why I run a lot of trap cards in my deck. The control that you have to shut down your opponent and not being able to have them have anything. Like we have cards like Grapha. Discard it, destroy one card on the field. And Grapha is a spammable card that as long as you have one Dark World card in your hand, you will bring out Grapha. Any level 4 or lower Dark World card that you have in your hand, Grapha is guaranteed to get out. And then you can have 3 of them on the field. So 3 different times you can destroy a monster. And it doesn't matter how many times Grapha gets destroyed. As long as Grapha isn't banished, Grapha can keep going and keep pooping on your life, right? So you got Grapha that does that, right? And now you have Shiva and Gold, which are easy level 5s. All you have to do is just discard. So that's 2 level 5s, one with I think 2,400 and the other one with 2,300. That's a that's turn 1. Like you can't, especially if you have a slower deck like Monarchs or whatever, you can't deal with that level 5 monstrosity that Shiva and Gold at the especially at the same time. No way. Then you have cards that before it got banned, you had card destruction, which basically means dump out your entire hand, right? Then you have especially for Dark Worlds, like free cards and free card effects. So not only are you gonna like if you had 7 cards, you dump out 6 because card destruction is gonna count as one of the cards. Dump out 6, you get 6 cards back, right? Then all the monster effects activate from the cards that you discarded. So if you have Bro, Snow, others, I don't even know, Bro and Snow, at and Beige sometimes because I like playing Beige because it's another free spammable level 4 monster for Grapha. Like what else could you want? But right, Brew, Brown and Snow. Brown lets you draw a card when it gets discarded. Doesn't matter how many times you discard it in the same turn. Still draw free cards. Snow lets you have any Dark World spell slash trap card. Like yes. And then you have cards that got reintroduced, like um, Crush Card Virus, which was banned forever because it was strong. I think they changed the effect on it, and they limited it to one because it's still super duper strong. Then you have Eradication Virus, Deck Devastation card. Like Dark Worlds not only have control where they can force you to discard important cards from your hand so you don't have them for later, but they also force you to get rid of monsters that you might need or have in your deck immediately. Get Eradication Virus, gets rid of spell and trap cards. Card Devastation, whatever it's called, gets rid of monsters with 1500 or less. Then Crush Card Virus. Crush Card Virus. Your opponent takes no bad damage for the rest of the turn. You look at your opponent's hand and all monsters they control. Destroy monsters among them with 1500 or more attack. Then your opponent can destroy up to 3 monsters with 15 more. That's not okay. Like, no, you can't have that. That's why Dark World is so good, because they have control. And then you have the Dark World card, Dark Smog. Get to discard one card from your hand and banish whatever you like from your opponent's graveyard. They send away a bunch of Blue Eyes White Dragons. They want to target that. Dark Smog. Banish it. You can have 2 Dark Smogs too, and I'm pretty sure you can activate both of them, because I'm pretty sure it's once per turn for each. So no, like, Dark Worlds are, even though like they're old and they're not getting any support for themselves, they're still a very powerful deck. Another deck that's very powerful and has a lot of control. Shaddolls. The Shaddolls are freaking amazing, and until they, especially Construct, because when Construct first came out, it was an amazing card. Like, you couldn't. The only thing that you could do to stop Construct was destroy it by card effects, and even if you destroy it with card effects, excuse me. Even if you destroyed it with card effects, you get back Shaddol Fusion or whatever Shaddol Fusion card that you wanted. Spell the trap card. You get any Shaddol spell the trap card that you want. Add it back to your hand. Then, especially if they have like an XYZ, you could remake Shaddol Construct by sending cards. It's like Shaddol Fusion, where you get to send cards from your deck to the graveyard to bring this thing out. Like, Construct is a powerhouse. If Construct was not bad, like, and here's the story about Construct, right? When Construct first came out, right? The next updated ban list, they banned it. Then they reset the ban where they limited either to 1 or 2. Then they were like, okay, Construct is alright. Like, it doesn't matter. They changed the meta. Construct is not going to be as powerful. Then they brought Construct back to 3, and Construct was still destroying people. That's how strong this card is. And mixed in with freaking Gristal, which you can discard to negate the summon of the special summon of monster. Winda, which you get to limit your opponent to special summon only once. Then you have cards like with like Andotal, like, Shaddolls is the actual embodiment of control. Like, if they didn't ban Construct, this would be my go-to deck. Didn't matter. And what made it worse is Shaddolls had so much versatility that you could fuse them with so many different decks. You could do Shaddol Lightstorm, Shaddol Fire Kings, Shaddol Spellbooks. Even though Spellbooks got nerfed, you can't use Judgment. They're all spellcasters, and you get all the effects from the spellcaster. But like, oh my god, why did they stop? I'm mad now. I'm super duper mad now that they stopped, that they banned Construct. But it was with good reason, because Construct is a force to be reckoned with. You can stop her, but in a meta where it's a bunch of special summon, especially spamming special summons from the extra deck, what are you gonna do against Construct, especially 101, which I'm not sure how much he's being played now, but I'll still drop a 101 every once in a while. But especially El Shaddai Construct was the 101 killer. Like if you as long as you as long as they had one material or two or whatever it had, you can attack it. It will activate its effect to stop it from being destroyed, which you can't steal your monster anymore. And plus, it'll do the damage and kill it anyway. Like Construct and Shaddolls are the physical embodiment of control. That's why they were the best in their prime. They're one of the best. And people hated going against Shaddolls. Like, doesn't matter if I go against Shaddolls or whatever. I love seeing a good Shaddol deck because it was fantastic, right? But that's besides the point. Like, but you get like what I'm trying to get you to get is like before Construct got banned, El Shaddolls was still with El Shaddolls, Dark World, Black Wings, and plenty of other decks would still be viable. eh, No matter how much the meta changed, because they're good for control. Another deck that's still viable, but is not as strong as it used to be are the macro decks. Like when they limited Macrocosmos and Dimensional Fissure down to one, it really it really put a choke on how much you could do. Like still one of the things that these decks have in common is like Blackwing, Dark World, Shaddolls, and Macro is they have a lot of versatility to them. For me, I know I could play macro heroes where the main function of the deck was to have your opponent banish as many cards, banish all their cards with Dark Law, and like have him be like it's like a protect like a 4 protect one. Like you have cards that will protect uh Dark Law so he could stay on the field for as long as possible. Didn't matter how long he stayed on the field, as long as he was on the field stopping you from getting cards in your graveyard, that's what he did. With Shaddolls, if you put them with Fire Kings, you have, especially with Fire King Grand Phoenix Tricks or Giant Fire Chicken or whatever, Giant Fire Chicken, Infinite Cycle of Destruction. You keep getting your Shaddol effects going off, and you keep able to spam them on the field. Dark Worlds, you could do different versions of Dark Worlds. You could do like Dark World Synchro, Dark World Inferno, or Dark World Burning Abyss, which is not Dark World Burning Abyss is not my favorite because I don't like Burning Abyss cards. I don't know what it is. I just don't like them, but that's besides the point. But you could they Dark Worlds have a versatility to them, and so Black Wings are able to let you spam cards and Sacred Summon much faster than some of the other decks would. Like the only deck that I think that could keep up with the Sacred Summon pace, not the only deck, because there's probably a lot more decks that let you do that. But one of the decks that help you keep up pace with Black Wings is a Quasar deck. But the problem with Quasar deck is they have no defense, and all of their monsters are gonna be made to most of their monsters, like a good 65% of the monsters that you have in your extra deck are gonna be used to make Quasar. And even Quasar is not that good because Quasar can only stop um, one effect per turn. So if you bait out the effect, and you force it, like you summon Quasar, then you like bottomless or whatever it, you force it to use its effect. Then he has to negate it. Then you could like dimensional prison or evac device it, and then all the resources and everything that they use, unless they have soul charge or something, it's gone. It's wasted. Like they don't get that back. That's the problem with Quasar decks is it's like one and done. Yes, you can have other monsters cause you didn't draw the perfect hand to bring out Quasar, but it's very much a one trick pony. That's pretty much what it is. But back to the Raid Raptors. They One of the problems that I have with this deck is similar to similar to what you call it Black Wings, they can spam the field easily. All they need is one card, but they don't. I don't know what it is. Like, yes, they have a tank in 4 streaks. Yes, they have stuff that can go against special summon. Like, okay, let's look at this. One of the things for me that comes up is the fact that Rise Falcon's effect freaking stacks. Okay, like when I mean stack, I mean you activate its effect once. You gain the increase to special attack, and if you could protect it and keep it alive, every no matter how many times they special summon, you can for 3 times in total. You can keep adding attack from your opponent's special summon monsters. Like that's not okay, especially when if it's 3 monsters. If they special summon 3 monsters with 2,000 attack, if you use that effect in 3 turns, this thing can get up to with the as an example, those 3 with 2,000 attack, this thing can get up to freaking 6,100 easily. It's it's just not okay, right? Then you have a tank in 4 streaks. Thank God, right? You think that 4 streaks is annoying now that he could just sit in defense mode and you can't kill it because they have like Raidraptor cards that are giving the attack and special defense. Thank God that Konami, the company that invented freaking insert card here, didn't thank God they didn't say that 4 streaks, as long as it's face up on the field, is the only Raidraptor card you could is the only Raidraptor card you can attack. Because bringing out 2 4 streaks in the same turn is not impossible, and especially when you get the defense to like 3,000 or 4,000 or whatever, like you're pretty screwed. Like you can't get over that. Like, and thank God they don't say, "Hey, guess what, my man? You can only attack me because like you like that. It's locked down. Like, no, it's not okay." Excuse me, my voice is going now. But you know what I mean, right? Like if it said that, then 4 streaks day one would have been insta banned, and then you could protect cards like Rise Falcon for free. Come on, man. Come on. No, that's not okay. Then you have freaking Blaze Falcon, which can attack you directly, right? And when it inflicts damage to your opponent, target one monster and destroy it, right? You could target monster your opponent controls. Then once per turn, detach with X, Y, Z. Destroy as many special summon monsters as possible, and then you inflict 500 damage. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you attack directly. Detach one. If you have 5 special summon monsters, you take 2,500 damage plus 1,000 from attacking directly, and it gets to destroy one monster you control. Like that's 3,005. The max damage that this card can specifically do is 3,500 damage, which is close to half if the cards are set up. If your opponent has their card set up right, like no, it's not broken. Like don't get me wrong, it's not broken, but it's still a very powerful card. Like Raidraptors went from a support deck to I'm gonna wreck your day if you're not careful, and if you don't shut me down in three turns or 5 turns or less, I will take off. This is what Raidraptors do. I will take off my pants and poop all over you, like, and you can't do anything to stop them because no matter how many times you destroy them, how many times you set them back, they're still in the game. If you have 1 life point and you can live with that 1 life point, you are never out of the game with Raidraptors. That is a fact. That you will never be out of the game with Raidraptors, specifically because you have cards like Lastrix, where if you take battle damage, you you can special summon this card, and you gain life points for each spell or trap card you control, and in your graveyard. What? Right? And mind you, you gain that life points back. It doesn't say Raidraptor spell trap cards. It says every spell trap card. So right now I have 23 spell trap cards. If I had all 23 of those cards in the graveyard and I took battle damage and I special something, I get 2,300 life points back for free. For free. Like, no, no. What the finnock, right? And then you have Revolution Falcon. This guy, it can attack all monsters your opponent controls once. At the start of each damage step of this battle, face a special summon monster. That monster's attack and defense becomes 0. Right? You detach one XYZ material. This man can attack up to 5 times. Up to 5 times. And if the monster he attacks is a special summon monster, guess what? It gets set to 0. So that's a free 2,000 damage that you're taking. Right? And then if you have a Raidraptor card attached to it, once per turn you can target one of your opponent's monster, one monster your opponent controls, destroy it. Doesn't have to be special summoned though. Mind you, doesn't have to be special summoned. And your opponent takes damage to half of it. So we're talking about what's a card that can get special summoned, like again normal summon that's really powerful. Ancient Gear Golem. Excuse me again. Ancient Gear Golem. Play that son of a bitch. Say, hey, what's good? Revolution Falcon. 1,500 damage straight to the dome. As long as he has a Raidraptor card attached to it. What? That's free. And you don't even have to pay. The only condition that you have is to have a Raidraptor card. And the whole deck is Raidraptor cards. It's not hard. Right? Then we have Raidraptor Satellite Cannon Falcon. This this Doctor Who spaceship looking motherfucker. Right? When this card is special summon, is XYZ summon, use a Raidraptor monster as material. You can destroy all spell or trap cards your opponents control. All of them. All of them. All of them. Not one, not two. All of them. Gone. Forever. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming. All of them. And then it said your opponent can't activate card effects in response to this card effect activation. So they're guaranteed gone. Like they're super gone unless they stop you from rank up summoning with friggin' like Solemn Warning or Solemn Judgment or whatever that stops you from activating spell and trap cards. All that shit is gone. Gone. You can't do anything about it too. Right? Can't do that. During each player's turn, detach one XYZ until the target will face a card your opponent controls, and it loses 800 for each Raidraptor in the graveyard, right? So I have 19 Raidraptor cards, right? Let me pull out the calculator right quick. Hold up. Right? I have 19 of them, right? So let's see. Monsters, one monster by itself can lose about 1 million attack points. One monster can actually lose 1 million attack points. Like, no. That's, and mind you, you might think that the effect itself is weak, but if you read, we just went through the top part of that card that said destroys all spell and trap cards that your opponent controls, and your opponent can't do anything about it. Doesn't matter what they do or what they care about. All you do is put a middle finger to the world, and you just say, "F you, I'm out." That's actually what you do. And then what makes the I put it in the shadal. What makes this deck super not okay is the brand new XYZ card that just dropped. Raidraptor Ultimate Falcon. First 5 words, unaffected by other trap cards. Mind you, thank God they said it's unaffected by other trap cards, but because if it just said it's unaffected by your opponent's cards, then that means whenever Ultimate Falcon is getting ready to be destroyed, all you have to do is just drop a Raidraptor's Readiness, and it literally can't die. No matter what, it can't die. And then you wanna make things worse. Detach when you can detach, make monster lose 1,000 attack points to the end of this turn, right? Not permanent. Not permanent. Then if you have a Raid Raptor attached to it, as long as you have one Raid Raptor attached to it, you can choose what is it? You can make it says all of you I didn't even realize that when it said that the first time. It says all make all of your opponent where's this thing? God dang, man. Uh You can make all monsters your opponent controls lose 1,000 attack, and if they do not control any, if they do not control, if they control no face-up monsters, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent instead. That's that's for every cycle. So in 4 cycles in a singles match, you can actually kill someone in four cycles. Cycles meaning you go, then your opponent goes, right? Or your opponent goes, then you go. In 4 cycles you can actually kill them as long as they have no monsters on the field. So right now, right, let's just look at monsters with more than 36, because you have to kill it by attacking it, right? Monsters with 30. I wish I could do like 36 or more right now. These 5 monsters can kill it easily, but as long as he's able to protect it, doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. These 5 can protect. Like there's not many that can actually kill this thing. Like for all, like there's a lot of them with 4,000 and a lot of them are copper, but in reality, what's so is that and there's not enough cards that are going to be able to single-handedly kill this thing without using everything that you have. In reality, that's what's so. Hey yo, buddy. Hey, shut your mouth, boy. Hey. Alright? Hey. Right? So, like I was saying, in reality, oi. It's not a thing. Like you can't with a regular deck, with a Dark World deck, you have to. Yes, you can spam the hell out of Grapha, but Grapha is not going to be strong enough to kill it by itself. You have to use 2 Graphas to make freaking what is it called? Frankenstein or like Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. You need 2 of them, and if they get banished somehow or whatever, it's gone. But do you see what the problem is, right? It's just not okay. Like it actually isn't. You can't have that card. No, no, no. Hold up. Because Raid Raptors just also released another card that I don't have in my deck. Raid Raptor Boostrix, which does some other crazy bullshit. Raid Raptor Boostrix. When a Raid Raptor you control is targeted for an attack, you can banish this card and destroy the attacking monster. Right? This card doesn't target. It just doesn't target. Literally have your super ultra Ultra Falcon on the field. You try and kill it, guess what? Boostrix. It Boostrix doesn't even target. Like, what is happening in this deck? This is the only thing I have to say about this is that this is not okay. Like, none of this is okay. Doesn't matter what they do or change it or whatever. I'm not gonna care. I'm gonna keep playing Raid Raptors too. I might not play it. I might play Black Wings and have Raid Raptors support my Black Wings, or have Black Wings support Raid Raptors. But no matter what happens, as of right now, it might seem that Raid Raptors are a little bit unstoppable. Cause even Vanity's emptiness can't won't be able to stop them, especially uh Tribute Lanus, where you could just send a card from your deck to the graveyard for free as long as you normal summoned it. It's these things are unstoppable. I don't know what they were thinking, but Konami is Konami, and they'll do whatever the fudge they like. I'm still gonna play Yu-Gi-Oh no matter what they change or what they do with this game. I'm still gonna be playing this game, just seeing how it changes. But as of right now, Raid Raptors with all the cards that they have is not okay. It definitely is not.